there's mysteries going on that churches, ministers, preachers, imams, rabbis are all clowns. And they don't have even that much information into what that Bible and how it's been coded and put together and what each thing means. You go all the way back to the first word in the Bible. You know what you'll find? Bereshith. They say in the beginning, but the Hebrew says Bereshith. The word is the second letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Bet. You go to the Quran, it says Bismillah. Or the Ismi. First letter, Bet. And if you go to your Christian Bible, first letter of the New Testament, Bet. 3 B's, 3 second letters, 3 seconds, 3 second letters, 2, 4, 6. In a book that consists of 66 books. Herein is wisdom. You're holding in your hand the devil's manuscript of destruction. And I say, you can't point out to me one good gesture in the Bible. But I can point out to you rape, incest, murder, and some of the stuff we just read. You can't give me one good gesture in the Bible. And I'll tell you, because the creatures that created you knew by nature you were evil people. Don't get mad. So what do you mean by that? If you take 2 kids and put them together before they know better and give one ice cream sandwich, will no one ask them for it or take it? If you turn your back on your kids, will they kick each other's ass or nurture each other? So before we learn how to be bad, it is already in our nature to be destructive, aggressive, and selfish, and evil. You hear me? You may not like the way this is being said, but if we start to reconcile what we are really about and not this superficial good crap that they have us thinking we are, we might be able to get to the root of some of our problems and change our lives and our conditions. If we start to realize that the foundation of our weaknesses is our selfishness, our obsession with being right, our greed, our lust, and then realize that we were reared and educated on a book that taught us that. Let me tell you something. If you were to remove the Bible out of history, there would have never been a crusade. That man wouldn't have bombed that building. Because he's a Muslim influenced by the Quran, which got his influence by it. There wouldn't be no bomb over there in Ireland between the Catholics and the... How many other things wouldn't have happened? Huh? The World Trade Center wouldn't have gotten bombed. What else? The Pope blessed the atomic bomb. Did you know that? He also blessed the bomb that bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Why? Because those people over there said, we don't want democracy. We don't want the Republican Party. We don't want the Democratic Party. We don't want the Socialist Party. We don't want to come to your party. We want to live by our own laws. Whether it's dictatorship, kings, czars, but we rule by our own rules. And because of that, we say no. Everybody must be what we are, or we're going to bomb you to death. Where do we get that principle from? Well, when a president goes into office, he's sworn in the office by putting his hand on the... So when he decided to bomb those people in revenge, he was doing that in the name of... Because this country is run in the name of... Because this country was founded by pilgrims who came over here to change these heathen Native Americans into Christians. You hear me? There wouldn't have been a war if it wasn't for Christianity. There wouldn't have been a crusade. Jesus wouldn't have got crucified if Jesus wasn't quoting Torah to Jews and got them mad because he had his own opinion about it. I'm saying if you believe in that doctrine. If Jesus didn't start telling the Jews and the Pharisees what he thinks the Bible meant, they wouldn't have said, we ain't stoning you for your works. We're stoning you because you make yourself out to be God. That's why they stoned, that's why they wanted to crucify him, not stone him. Correct? Let's go back. If we remove the Bible out of the history of man, name some calamity that would have took place. Now remember, earthquakes in the Bible as something God brings. Hail is in the Bible as something God brings. Floods in the Bible as something God brings. What else? Pestilence, disease, famines are in the Bible as something God brings. Now, when we remove God out of the situation, they'll call you a devil. And you say, devil is something that God brings. I got to believe in a devil to be a devil. You got to convince me to believe in the devil when you can convince me that I'm a devil because I disagree with your God who I don't believe in. When you throw your hands up and say, I don't believe. I'm into factology. Because what I do realize is that if you and your God and your Bible didn't exist, this world would be a peaceful, beautiful place. They had to cut down a tree to crucify Jesus, you know. They had to disrupt nature to disrupt the nature of man. If it wasn't for religion and religious leaders and self-righteous people, you hear me? Every preacher thinks he's self-righteous. I'm not right. Because I say, let me tell y'all right now, I am not no preacher. I'm a teacher. I try to teach you things. I am not holy. I ain't no good man. I ain't no good man. Don't make me no good man. I ain't fall for that crap. When you look at me and say, well, I ain't no good man. I'm a man just like you. A person just like you. I can go down the stairs and fall flat on my damn face if I ain't careful. And God ain't gonna catch me. That's real. And I'm mad if he don't catch me. If I was a great goddamn Christian and I took the fall on my wrist, I'm gonna be mad at God. And I ain't coming here as no holy man. I ain't coming here as anybody begging you. I'm coming to you as you. One of you. Now if you want to preach it, go find Mr. Goodman. But I tell you, Jesus said there's none that's good but who? But God. And I'm not that God. When they say I'm God, they mean like any other Pharaoh in Egypt. I am not the creator of the balanced universe. No one that could. He says he is God in the flesh. And then he says, and he got a whole of gods. Where the same newspaper? He says he's God in the flesh, and on the particular pylon is a whole of gods. There's something wrong with that kind of ain't on a stone and don't know it. Or they can move and don't know it. Who's past the island believes I created the balanced universe. Nobody believes that. See, but they don't want you to have any image in your mind of anybody doing anything for you but them. That's why they don't like me. That's all, because I'm a nigga. With an attitude. And traveling experiences. And languages under his belt. And the views about what he says. And experiences. And I'm also a master builder. And I get the job done. And they're afraid that some of these young men might make me their idol. Idol? Yes. And then they'll stop being idle and start becoming idols. That's what's crazy. They're afraid of what I represent. They're afraid of what I'm stirring inside of you. They're afraid of that message you come back with. I don't believe that. I don't believe nobody down on no cross. Want to do some mathematics on it? Yeah. Let's take a full-grown man. Amen. Which one of a full-grown man? Yeah, you look like a full-grown man. Let's assume Jesus is that man's height, weight. All right? And let's construct the size of cross he has to carry. Think about what I'm saying now. Make Jesus that man's height. I told you. 5'11". And all the hold his weight. How far would the cross have to be in the ground to keep him from falling over? About 4 feet or 5 feet to hold his weight. Otherwise he'll fall over, right? Sit down, y'all. Look at that. How long the plate would it have to be in order for, according to that picture, for him to have this like this, and his hand is way back here with a nail in it, his arm goes there. With all this extra plate here. Put it up. How long a plate you gonna need? About 7 foot of plate. With me? Now, we go in the ground 5 to 4 feet. I don't talk to those skeptics. He's 5 foot, right? That's 6 more. How much is that? Now, they have the cross drawn like this. Right? And Jesus' head right over here. Correct? Arm there, there. They lie like this. I'll go down that longer for you skeptics. They have a little crack over there, and this is sticking up that high and loose over it. Am I right? Now, at this man here is 6 feet. We got 5 down here. We got another at least 5 feet above him. How many feet? How many altogether? We got 15 feet of wood this way and at least 7 feet of course this way. Now let's deal with his body weight and how thick the piece of wood would have to be in order for it not to break. Could you use a 2x4? What would you have to use? Look at that man, look at all the biscuits up in there. And the last thing Jesus did had supper before he went. You need a plate. Now you tell me, they whipped his butt the whole night before till he was bloody and near death. Stuck thorns in his head. Right? Even with whipped with little lead tips on his wings, unmercifully. And then told him to carry that plank all the way through the city of Jerusalem, all the way to the mountain of what? Of skulls. How did he do it? No way possible. I say, well, because God helped him. If God was going to help him, I want you to get it. You want some more? If God was going to help him, nowhere in the Bible story does it say they had to whip his ass that before. It says he's going to die on the cross of your sins. He did not have to get his butt beat the night before. Who added that little tidbit in there? That ain't in the Bible. They said crucifixion, not ass whipping and crucifixion. So why was he beat up the whole night? And why did God allow him to get beat up? Wasn't it bad enough to go nail him on the cross? And then he lay out there in the hot sun to the point where a man who can walk on water got thirsty? You can catch that one out. You can walk on water but you're thirsty. I don't know. You can multiply bread, but you can't heal the wound in the side where they stabbed you. And you're God incarnated and don't know the difference between water and vinegar. Because they say he gave him vinegar. I know vinegar. I know vinegar from water. Especially if I'm thirsty. My senses heightened. Don't you see they made this up? And it spellbinds me and you and keeps us turning the other cheek while they go about doing their devilishment. Why are they talking about religious denomination? Why are they saying, as a good Catholic boy, that goes to church St. Philip was having a sexual relationship while his wife was in the next room and the dog was downstairs with a Baptist girl who goes to church service? That was one of y'all, they said. say, a new white being, your religion, all the newspapers, they are none of the things, they are our church name. You think the game? I'm saying church because that's what they recognize, you know what I mean. Why is that being done? You know why? Because they don't want to just crucify me. They want to crucify us. They want to crucify the purpose. They want to crucify the idea. They want to crucify the whole concept of what y'all are trying to do out here and make it look like one man is doing everything. Hell, if we take off their head, all these people too dumb. That's their whole mind. They didn't believe that. They had to be stopped because they stopped me. The problem is they didn't know where they were moving on. They thought I was this pastor that the Reverend Anderson. When they investigated me, they found out he does have a PhD. You understand? So, whoa, nigga got a PhD. And he did graduate from a university in Egypt. Oh, maybe that's why he has permits here. Maybe that's why he's attracted. See, they never mentioned that in the paper. Oh, when we did an investigation, we found out, yeah, he went to the University of Cairo and he graduated. I said he's a specialist in Semitic languages and in Egyptian history and Egypt. Yeah. Why did they put that in the paper? Why did they put that I pastored a church in New York for 20 years? Why did they come back and say, here's 3 articles. There's 3 separate articles on this man from New York and one from Florida. And this is what they say, that the mayor, Koch, came to Bushwick Avenue to sit down with this man and ask him how did he manage to eliminate all the drugs in the heart of Bedford-Stuyvesant on Bushwick Avenue. How did this one man do that? Some of y'all don't know that's what we did. Well, I know that I moved into the heart of the ghetto and took a slum area and renovated the buildings. Same thing I'm doing now. And repaved the streets and fixed the plumbing. Put up all the buildings on both sides of like a 4-block area. Put in new lights, everything. Beautiful environment. Guess what? No crime for how long? Over 20 years, no crime in that area at all. They say in the paper, drug addicts won't go down there. The article says, this person came here, a group of them, very spiritual people, mind their business, renovated this whole neighborhood, gave it a Moorish flavor. At the time we was Muslims and we had domes and minarets and buildings with brown and gold and rose bushes dotting the streets of New York. You understand? And 24-hour security. A brother standing around, slap down the gate. 24 hours. We've been doing this for 20 years, so don't ask. We can ever get tired? Yeah, but we feel a hell of a lot more tired when somebody's sneaking there putting a bomb on us. But we know we're not right. So we got to keep our eyes open to protect our families. 24-hour security. So if everybody was trying to move into Bushwick Avenue, it says in the article, we put a hospital for old people in Bushwick Avenue next to them because they are there. The mayor says it. This article is in the next newspaper for them to read. Then it tells another article where people said, what happened? That's right. Remember that? What happened to this group of people who walked around in the long white robes and we heard this beautiful sound coming out their temple? And it woke up in the morning and I loved it. It was soothing. Oh, that was their own. And their devotion to their religion. And out of that, they got big, beautiful festivals on the street. And it was all organized. And so beautiful, and even people in the neighborhood, this is in the paper, would participate. What happened to the people? Where are they? You know what I say? Right here in Edenton, Georgia. Here we are. Here's where we are. That's the kind of things we do. But you know what else he did? Why don't tell people this information? Why is he not telling them what I really am? Why is he saying anybody that believes that flying saucers is coming out of heaven and think that they're God incarnate, that man got to be a God? Why is he saying that? Why is he not coming to me and saying, do you say you're God incarnate? Yes, I am God incarnate. But so are you, and you, and you, and all of us are children of the Most High. Why does he keep leaving that part off? Because he needs to put into the minds of the people in Edenton, there's some kind of nut who thinks he created all the stars in the universe. He needs that, because they might stop and take a listen to me. Ask yourself, sisters, why don't they want that for you? Why do they want the young kids in Edenton to want to leave and go to Atlanta and become niggas? Why do they want them to chase Snoop Dogg? Why do they want them to be Puff Daddy? Why don't they want you to set up something for yourself? They don't take care of us. Welfare don't take care of us. Retirement plans don't take care of us. So now we say, hell, we're going to try to take care of ourselves. We're going to do what works for us. As ancient Egyptians, we're going to do it. Christian, are you Christians in the house here? What y'all laughing for? I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I don't know what y'all talking about. Some of y'all are Muslims. Some of y'all are Jews. I'm an Egyptian Christian. And I believe that Horus is Christ, and Osiris is his father, and Isis is the Blessed Mother Mary. When I use Horus, Isis, and Osiris, I'm still using the same format as Christianity. Yeah, it's just the same format, just with Egyptian. They copied it from us. So I'm going to give it up just to make them happy. And they like, it ain't mine, it was mine first. You took and laid these Greek names in the place of the Egyptian names. I'm taking it back. Right. So I become an Osiris, which is a name Christian. You hear me? You don't want your own businesses? You don't want to build your own hospitals? You don't want to build your own schools? Educate your own kids to stop telling them lies? And scrutinize the reverends and the preachers. You know what I mean by that? And a preacher comes, and he says, I want to build a church in this new empire for my congregation. We say, fine. We want to talk to you. Where did you graduate from? What Bible are you coming from? You come from the New Testament? Yeah, what language was it in before you got into King James? Greek. Are you fluent in Greek? Because if you ain't fluent in Greek, you can't be quoting the Bible. The reverend we want in here is going to be teaching the Bible in a language in Greek the way it was revealed. If you go to a synagogue, you have to know. If you go over to mosque, you have to know. If you go over to Egyptian temple, you have to know hieroglyphics. You ain't coming there to be no fraud. Now, wouldn't that be better to have a minister here who knows the Bible in Greek? So as he's talking to you, he's explaining to you the words, the way Jesus done, according to them, believed it. And he's a rabbi, he's teaching you in Hebrew. He's able to say, this word means this, so you don't get misguided and misled. That's why they don't want me around. Because they can see the plan is bigger than they can imagine right now. And the worst thing about it is like maybe 500 people sitting here. You understand? And today is what? How many churches had 500 people sitting in on Sunday in Edenton? How many churches had 500 people sitting from 4 o'clock to something to 8? Listen, no fights, no drunkenness, no sleeping. I slept that a little bit. No foul language but me. That's right, I heard that. They didn't tell you I could hear that far. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of what ancient Egyptians call mat, order, disciplined. A society of us that have purpose, goals, plans, ideas. We're not saying there's going to be another pyramid out there. Anybody thought you want to get another pyramid out there? See? See what happens? Now, if I was a reverend, I said, we're going to add another wing onto the church. You know, we have to say, oh, shit, he's giving us for some money. Right? He's giving us for his deep. If I say, we're going to put a pyramid out there, you know, if you don't add a dime, there'll still be a pyramid out there. I'm going to get my job done. Because I'm trying to be an example for my people. That we can get things done. That we can make things happen on all levels. Last night there were groups up there singing for the crowd that likes music. A little earlier that we was laughing, joking, like Jerry Springer for the fun. Then they had a movie on Friday night. Friday night, screen comes down, everybody comes out, we have a free movie. So we have our movies, we have our entertainment, we have our fellowship, religious fellowship, family gathering, spiritualists, trying to cover it all to show us what we can do. If we all get together and work together, what we could do. And if I'm one man and I'm spearheading and pulling this off with all you men and all you women that's getting our heads together, what could we do? Or better yet, what can't we do?